Hey guys, what is up? It is Rachel, and in this video I'm going to briefly go over why and how I make money from my phone using the foreign exchange market. But first of all, before we get straight into the information, I'm going to talk a little bit about myself and my story behind why I started trading. Okay, so my name is Rachel, as I said, and I'm 21 years old and I'm in my third year studying architecture at university whilst working part-time in retail as well. If there's one thing you should know about students, if you don't know already, students most of the time are broke. Unless they've got the bank of mummy and daddy, most students are broke. That's why we get student discount, because I'm sure the companies feel sorry for us. And I wanted to reveal and I wanted to talk a little bit and share with you guys a little bit about my experience being a student. And one of my experiences is whilst working in a retail job, it was a glimpse of what life would be like, once I graduated and once I started my career. And what I realized is that within every month before payday, maybe a week before payday, I would always find myself trying to stretch out those last pennies, those last maybe a £50 or £100 which I had left from my salary, until the whole thing started over again. Okay. And something which I realized is that this cycle is literally just a reflection of what's going to happen in the future. I found myself, having this cycle of constantly waiting for payday, month after month, year after year. And there's a saying which is said by Albert Einstein, and he says that if you're doing an action over and over and over and over again, expecting different results, that is the definition of insanity. So how was I working the same hours, sometimes more hours, sometimes less hours, but I'm earning money in the same way? And I'm expecting different results. I'm expecting for my money to grow. I'm expecting to get paid more than the hours that I do. I'm expecting all these different things. However, I was still doing the same thing. There was no difference. So my partner started trading a couple months before I started. And I saw that he was able to leave his job within 4 months of trading. And from that, I was like, you know what? I have to get stuck in. Why? Not because that he was able to do it, but because I knew for a fact that I could not continue doing the same thing expecting different results. I had to try something new. I had to come out my comfort zone and be like, you know what? I have the belief that this is going to work and I'm going to go for it. So I did. And that's how I started trading Forex. Now, there's something which I wanted to say also about working in retail, working one job in general. Now, working a job, there's nothing wrong with it by any means, but only working a job is where the problem lies. It's very, very dangerous. Why? Because for any moment, at any time, especially in the situation that a lot of countries are in right now, which is a global recession, nothing is guaranteed. My job isn't guaranteed. And I realized that not only it's very dangerous, and I should not be relying on just one income. If you look at the most successful people that there are out there, you would notice that they all have something in common. They all have multiple sources of income. They don't just rely on one source. They put their eggs in multiple baskets and they make money from those different things. Okay, so let's say if one thing was to go bad, that's okay. They still got maybe about 3 others that they can focus on. So I wanted to imitate and copy the people who had the results and have the results that I wanted, and I took the leap of faith to start trading. The reason why I felt trapped in just having one salary is because that salary was capped. Okay, why was it capped? I get capped at how many hours I can work a week. Okay, that's 40 hours a week. Maximum I can work is 40 hours a week. And from having a limited amount of hours that I could work means that I had a limited amount of salary. And having a limited amount of salary means that I had a limited amount of choices on where I could spend my money. The places I wanted to go were limited. The places I would want to eat were limited. The clothes that I would want to buy were limited. The lifestyle I wanted to have was limited. Why? Because it was limited to a job. It was limited to the paycheck that I got. And I thought to myself, you know what? I need to find a better way, a smarter way, not to work harder, but to work smarter, a smarter way to make money. And that's why I went into the foreign exchange market. Now, the foreign exchange market, and making money from the foreign exchange market probably has the smallest amount of initial investment that you can find compared to that of real estate, which costs you hundreds of thousands of pounds or dollars to initially get started, which has a very slow return rate after maybe about 2-3 years. Starting your own business, once again, it takes 2-3 years to get up and running, and you need a heavy amount of investment to start as well. Now, all these things were signs and telltale signs to me that I needed to find something which had low initial starting rate, low initial investment rate, and something which was going to help me make money from my own actions. Now, the reason why I started trading was not to become a professional trader. By no means did I want to become a professional trader. Sitting at a screen all day, that's a lifestyle which is not for me. It might be for you, but it wasn't for me, because I had goals which I wanted to achieve, and I still have goals that I want to achieve. So the reason why I wanted to start trading Forex is because money and earning money would be the tool to push me and to help me and to finance me to get towards my goals more quicker. Okay, before we even talk about how to make money, I feel like it's important to talk about what money is and to talk about the concepts behind it. Now, in the world that we live in currently, money could be said to be as important as that of oxygen. You can't live virtually without having money as a tool to help to buy you shelter, food, water, clothing, so forth. And something which I learned from one of my mentors is, if you are not investing your money in whatever it is, it doesn't even have to be Forex, but if you're not investing your money, then you have little to no chance of creating wealth in your life. And that's where I thought to myself, I need to do something which will help me not only make a second income, but also which will help me add wealth and multiply wealth in my bank account and in my life. So now I'm going to talk a little bit about the cash flow quadrant, which is something created by Robert Kiyosaki, one of the most successful business gurus in the entire world. And I'm going to talk a little bit in a brief sentence or two about one of the concepts that he talks about. And in this concept, he says that 95% of the wealth belongs to only 5% of the entire world. And 5% of the wealth belongs to 95% of the world. Now, what that means, it means that the rich own majority of wealth in the world, whereas the majority of people only own 5% of wealth. So I want to ask you a question before we even go on. Who do you admire? Who do you take advice from? And who do you listen to? Are you listening to someone who is part of the 95% of wealth, or the 5% of people? Or are you listening to your friend or your parents who are part of the majority? Okay? And by listening to Robert Kiyosaki, I decided to pay attention, and I decided to follow him because I knew that he had the results that I wanted. There's something which I want to point out to why the rich have 95% and majority of the wealth in the world. Why? It's because that they know how money works, okay? They learn things which we majority of people do not learn. So what do we need to do? We need to listen, and we need to watch, and we need to look at the clues of what rich people do. Now, 1% of people, 1% of the population are investors. They make their money work for them. Money doesn't sleep, money doesn't get tired, money isn't ill, money is working, and money can work 24/7. So what the rich realize is that using your money to make money for you is probably one of the best ways of investment, because it didn't matter what you were doing. It didn't matter. It just mattered what the money was doing. And that's what the rich had learned. So now I'm going to get straight into Forex. Now, before we even go anywhere else, I'm going to tell you what Forex actually means. Forex stands for the foreign exchange market. Now, you've probably participated in the foreign exchange market if you've gone abroad. Whenever you go to an airport and you exchange your currency, let's say you're living in America, you use dollars, and you come over to England, and when you fly over, you exchange your dollars for pounds. In that exchange rate, you're not getting the same amount of money that you initially put in to get out, right? And why is that? It's because the currency rate is always fluctuating, and that's what we trade. That fluctuation is how we make money. Now, before, ages ago, 20, 30 years ago, it was impossible. It was virtually impossible to trade. Only the elite were able to trade. Why? Because you needed like $3 million as a portfolio of investment to get started, with tens of thousands of dollars of courses to help you understand how the market worked. But now It's incredible. Why? Because I can pick up my smartphone and place a trade on a as little as £100 or dollar account. Now, the banks are the main players and main participants in the foreign exchange market. They are what make the market fluctuate the most, okay? And guys, I want to tell you a little secret. Have you ever realized if you've got any savings account, you get something, it's literally ridiculous now. The savings interest rate is like pennies. Like it's something like 0.1%. You get 0.1% for every, let's say, £100 or dollars that you put into savings account. Now, that 0.1% is return. It's the bank saying thank you to you for using your money to trade in the Forex market. Okay? The bank's using your savings and hundreds of millions of people's other savings to move the market and to use that money as bulk to move the market and make money for themselves. That's why that's how banks make money. They make money by participating in the foreign exchange market, and a lot of people don't know that. So that's why they give you a little thank you, a little 0.1% back of your money to say thanks. When I heard that, I was like, yo, I'm sorry, am I a mug? I said to myself, I want to cut out the middleman. Cut out the banks, cut out the middleman, and let me start investing for myself and making money for myself. I want to now talk about the education that I Am Mastery Academy has to offer. I Am Mastery Academy goes off 3 sectors that they help train, teach, and help people earn money from the foreign exchange market. Now, I'm going to break it down into number 1, 2, and 3. The first section which they use is education. Give a man a fish and you'll feed him for a day. Give a man a boat and you'll feed him for life. That saying is so important here. Why? Because I Am Master Academy give you guys the boat. They give you the boat. They give you the skills and the education to how you can learn how to fish exactly for yourself. So the first thing I want to talk about is the videos which they have to offer. Now, I Am Mastery Academy has a bunch of academic videos, over 70 educational videos to help you go from literally having no knowledge on Forex to having a deep understanding of how the markets work and why they work in a certain way, and to also analyze the market. So when I first came into this, I knew nothing like most people. All I knew was Forex, for what foreign exchange actually meant. But coming away from those videos, I had a deep understanding of how the markets looked and why they look that way and how to analyze it. Now, Go Live. Go Live is a platform which I like to call the Netflix of Forex, okay? Go Live is a live platform which allows you to watch over 160 educators, professional traders, professionally tested, over 6 and 7 figure earners. Remember, guys, what I said to you before. Take advice from who you want to swap places with. Take advice from people who are successful, the people who you want the results of. Now, I said, well, I don't mind if I'm learning from someone who's got 6 and 7 figures in their bank account, in their trading account. Bring me in. I will listen to every word they say. Okay, they've got over 160 different educators, which means over 160 different ways to trade. Now, how great is that? For me, I'm a type of person, I learn by demonstration. I learned by seeing someone do it live with me. So it was great. Why? Because I was able to watch them live. So I could watch them at the time they were recording the video, which is fantastic because you can even take the same setups as them as well. You know, Go Live is where a lot of the education starts because you're demonstrating, you're practicing, you're getting your hands stuck into the market. You're following someone who has been in the market for 5+ years and has the results that you want. Now, what better way is that to learn? Now, the second sector is the strategies. Now, there's over 20 different strategies that can help you trade in the Forex market. What that means, there are different ways to help you trade into the market, depending on what type of person you are. Now, your mentor or me, I will go through the different strategies with you to see what is best suited to you, to see whether you're a trader who likes short-term trades, whether you like to get in and out of the market quickly, or whether you like to have long-term trades. You know, you like to get into the market and maybe get out next week, where you don't have to be watching the trade. You can literally leave it to do its thing and come back when you're ready. So those are the strategies. Now, so the third thing is copy and paste trade ideas. Now, what better way as a student, someone who doesn't have a lot of time, a full-time worker, whatever you're doing, especially when you first begin, trade ideas. We have platforms which also allow you to take ideas from professional traders. There's loads of other platforms which allow you to take trade ideas and use them for yourself. Now, this is something which I liked. Why? Because this is what you call leverage. You're now able to leverage a professional trader's brain rather than trying to work things out yourself, okay? You can now have 6 or 7 professional brains all working literally for you to take their trade ideas and profit off their results and profit off their knowledge. Okay, this is what you call leverage. So those are the 3 pillars of the education. You guys are probably wondering, okay, well, Rachel, what's the price? How much do you have to pay? But before I get into the price, I have some real good news for you. And the good news is you have the chance to get this platform for free. You have the chance to get a free scholarship to the education that they offer, okay? And how you get that free scholarship is when you come into my business, when you come into my team, me and my mentor will go through with you the stages and the strategy to how you can make money within your first 30 days. And if you do so, if you follow the instructions and make money in your first 30 days, you can share it with your friends, you can share it with your family. If you're able to get 2 people to study alongside you, you will get the platform for free, okay? So with the first initial payment of $235, after that, the monthly rolling payment is $174, but that $174, if you've got 2 students alongside you, that becomes waived. So you could just pay your first starting rate, and then after that, you don't have to pay a monthly cost. Now, think about this, guys. Now that, let's say, if you do have a free scholarship and you're not paying the $174 per month, you don't have to worry about paying any money to the company. Instead, all your profits can go back into your trading account to help you make more money. The reason why the rich get richer is because they use their money. They make their money make money for them. And the more money that you have is a snowball effect. The more money you have is the more money you will make, okay? So imagine if you're able to now double your account. Imagine if you're able to now make profit, make 10%, make 20%, make 30% of your account. You don't have to put any of that money back into your monthly subscription. You can instead keep it in your trading account and help it make more money for you, okay? This is not a contract. There is no contract. If you feel like you've been fulfilled by the platform, it's okay. You can cancel it whenever you want. It's not a contract. I want to talk about a second source of income that the company can offer you. This company can offer you 2 sources of income. Now, let me give you guys a little fact. Did you know that the average person has only 1 source of income? Whereas a millionaire on average has 7 sources of income. Do you see the difference? 7 sources of income is what a millionaire has. And this platform can offer you 2 sources of income. This part of the platform is optional, but I would say if you don't have 7 sources of income yet, I would highly consider this, okay? Now, this part of the platform is based on referrals. Let's say if you're making money, if you're happy with the service, you can share this with 12 people and the company will now start paying you $600 per month for your team, okay? And then that increases to $1,000 per month if you have a team of 30 people. And then it increases to $5,000 per month if you have a team of 225 people, and so forth, so forth. Now, what would $1,000 per month help you with? If you were to have an extra $1,000 per month, how would that affect you? How would that affect your money? How would that affect your family or your life? Now, this type of income is called residual income and it's called passive income. What that means, it means that it doesn't matter if you're away on holiday, if you're ill, if you just want to stay in bed for a couple of days, it doesn't matter what you're doing, you will get paid, okay? Even when you're absent, which is fantastic, okay? So guys, think about it this way as well. The compensation plan allows you to earn money by having a team, by having people who are also making money amongst you. And what that means, it means that you can use that extra income to put back into your trading account. You can use that extra income to bump up your trading account size. And remember what I said, the more money you have to invest is the more money that you can make. Okay, so that is the I Am Mastery Academy platform. In a really brief and simple way to explain. But lastly, before I leave you guys, I want to ask you a question. I want you guys to think about these questions before you go on to the next stage and book an appointment with me. If you're willing to be consistent, to be coachable, and if you're willing to invest in your mind and your pocket, you are in the right place and you are watching the right video. So guys, thank you so much for joining me on this video. Head back to the link tree for the next step or contact me. Thank you very much. See you guys later.